Hey, good morning, church. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. So, as you know, we're studying through the book of Proverbs, and today we are in Proverbs 23. And so, like I've done in the past, I'm just going to kind of hit on a couple of these verses that God really pointed out to me and the ones that God really showed out to me. Now, there are 35 different verses in this chapter, and a lot of them come in usually about 2 verse sections. And so, these sections, most of them are warnings. And so, in the first half of this chapter, you see the word "don't" or "do not" appear 12 times, and so you see a bunch of times that you're seeing what not to do, right? And so one of the sections that stood out to me first of all is verses 4 and 5, and it says, "Don't wear yourself out to get rich. Stop giving your attention to it. As soon as your eyes fly to it, it disappears, for it makes wings for itself and flies like an eagle to the sky." And so, throughout Proverbs, we see a lot of different sayings full of wisdom. And I would say a good majority of them are including or talking about money. And so here we see the perfect example of what happens when we try for money, right? Don't wear yourself out to get rich. Just stop giving your attention to it. As soon as your eyes fly to it, it disappears. So as soon as you start putting all your focus into getting money, as soon as you put your focus on getting to the point of where you are making a lot of money, it just disappears, because once you get there, it just keeps going up, and that goes back to trying to be of the world. You're trying to get so much money so you can, wear the cool things or drive the cool things or have a nice house. Being rich has almost depending on how you use it in your heart for it, has no use towards the Father unless you're giving it to the Father. And so running to get rich you're just going to wear yourself out, and it's going to be an endless pursuit, right? And so the other one that stuck out to me was verse 12. Verse 12 says, "Apply yourself to discipline and listen to words of knowledge." And now in the middle of all of this chapter, there's 2 to 3 verses per section. And now verse 12 is just a one-off sentence. It's one word or one sentence, and it says, "Apply yourself to discipline and listen to words of knowledge." And so, it kind of seems like it doesn't fit. But when you look around and you see the entire book of Proverbs, you realize that all of these sayings have many, many contributions to your life, many different impacts in different areas of your life. And like I said, there's so many chapters and so many different one-off sentences of wisdom that you kind of get bored, and you kind of get your mind starts to wander while you're reading them. It says, "Apply yourself to discipline and listen to words of knowledge." You find those things, like I was talking about verse 4 and 5, that section stuck out to me. You find those things that stick out to you, and then you focus on that, and you listen to the words of knowledge and apply yourself to it, right? And so the last part, verses 29 through 35, we see this whole chapter talking different sections of different wisdom sayings, and then we see this last section, which is verse 29 through 25. And it starts out with these 6 questions. It starts out with, who has woe, who has sorrow, who has conflicts, who has complaints, who has wounds for no reason, who has red eyes. And so when you start to read that, you start to think, all of us have felt these before, but these are more advanced. These are higher and worse off things than just normal woe and normal sorrow, right? Because if we keep reading, we see those who linger over wine, those who go looking for mixed wine. So then you see the rest of this chapter talking about wine and how people get really addicted to it, and they run to wine or alcohol or other addictions to get rid of their worldly problems instead of running to the Father. And so who has woe, who has sorrow? Everyone has woe and sorrow, but when we run to the things of the world, like money or different addictions, we run to the things of the world before going to the Father. Those that woe, that sorrow, those conflicts, those complaints, they amplify because we're just not going to the right place. And so, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little brief about chapter 23, and I hope you guys read through it and apply yourself to knowledge, like it says. And y'all have a good day. God bless.